Well, smart listener, welcome back with us in our channel English program, Smart FM. So tonight we are going to talk about something is general, especially among the college students. That is graduation. So, brother Fikri, I'd like to ask you about graduation. So, what is a graduation mean for you?
To me, graduation is like the thing that a colleger really dream because in campus we do a lot of things, we do a lot of homeworks, assignments, and also sometimes we get annoying lecture, like you know what I'm saying. So that's
I agree
why
with that.
sometimes graduation is very dream for us as a colleger.
And then I have an interesting question for you. So, do you think that the word graduation is only appropriate with the college student?
But I guess graduation is for all of how to say institute like schools, grade campus. But why graduation just really familiar with college? Because in campus we really celebrate the graduation itself in big party rather than in school or something like that. So that's why graduation really related to college, even though all of institutes sometimes celebrate graduation as well.
So, what is the other meaning beside we get like certificate? I mean, what is the other meaning of graduation itself besides getting like certificate from the institute?
I guess graduation means like a step to see the world because because like in campus we learn a lot of things. So when we graduate, it means that we have to start our new life. That is, we have to look for a job, something like that.
Okay, so meaning that in this case, graduation is one step closer to go in the new life. And then
Yeah, exactly.
okay, right now I'm going to talk about your daily activity in campus. So what do you do in the campus usually? I mean, what did you do?
When you are asking about what I'm doing in campus, I guess just go to campus and come back to my dormitory. But when you're asking me what I'm doing while I am studying at university, I do a lot of things like join in some organizations to improve my skills because even the lecturer told us that in campus we just get 30% about knowledge, but if you go out, if you look for another place to get some knowledge or experiences, you will get more than in campus. So that's why I will make it balance between study at university and also study at another place like English clubs, organization, and etc.
Oh, you try to make a balance between organization and also campus, isn't
Exactly.
it? Okay.
Yeah, because I don't wanna be like a kupu-kupu, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kupu-kupu,
Butterfly.
Yeah, that's really shame for me if people say me kupu-kupu.
Okay. During you was doing your activity when you was doing at campus. I mean, what kind of organization that you join in that time?
Yeah,
Is
in
it
my
suitable
campus I
with
joined.
your major or what?
This is really suitable with my major because I study at English department and then I joined in UKM Bahasa in one of organizations in my campus, that is Muhammadiyah University of Makassar. So I joined at debate division. So I learned debate in English.
Okay.
Besides I can improve my English, my vocabularies. I also can improve my knowledge, especially my critical thinking. That that exactly will improve my skills because in real life we don't need just about our English, but how you use in English in in good situation, in proper situation. So that's why I try to make also my knowledge and my English are balanced.
Meaning that most of the organization that you join at the time are related with your major. And then,
Yeah.
is it, does
I
it,
also
okay, okay.
join.
Okay, go
I
on.
also join in several English clubs like
Okay.
BPEC,
Uh-huh.
BPEC Makassar, and also match in Almarkas, Haid in Hasanuddin, and
Mm.
many more. So in Makassar, we can get a lot of things and with free of charge. Exactly.
Does it give like a lot of contribution? Is it, does it give like a lot of
Exactly.
contribution in your graduation later on? Does it give like a lot of
Exactly,
contribution?
because in their organizations we learn about how to make agreement, how to
Mm-hmm.
talk with other people, how to like many we can get a lot of things. Besides, we can improve our knowledge, but we can
Mm.
also get a lot of experiences that really they really needed in a scholarship institute. Exactly.
Okay, so you talk a lot about knowledge that you got in several organizations. So, beside knowledge, what kind of benefit that you got at the time in organization that supports you
Yeah,
in
yeah.
graduation later
Okay,
on?
I get you.
Uh,
In Indonesia, what one of the most things we need is link.
okay,
If
Link.
we have so many link, if we have so many friends that maybe work in prestigious
Okay,
institute like,
I got you.
I have a friend from Unibos, and
Mm-hmm.
then he worked as a prodi there.
Mm.
So it's really profit me.
Mm.
It's really benefit for me as a young colleger.
Okay,
So
mean.
in the future, maybe I can get their experiences. I also can learn from them, and exactly maybe they will hire me if they see that I have potential.
Indirectly it will be increasing our relationship, and also we can
Exactly.
okay. And then what kind of preparation that you're doing right now when you are facing your graduation later on? What kind of preparation?
Yeah,
Because
sometimes I think that I never prepare a lot of things to face with my graduation later. But
mm-hmm.
I just learn by watching YouTube,
Okay.
by learning with my friends. But I guess I learn all of them not because I prepare it for my graduation, but I just indeed love it. I just want to learn something because sometimes I really curious about something, especially
Mm.
the thing that are really related in myself.
Okay, so if later on you will face like a hard situation where do you want to graduate but it's totally hard. So what you are going to do at the time when you are facing like a hard situation?
Yeah, we cannot deny that barriers is always there.
Mm-hmm.
So if later I get barriers or step that I will do is I just want to take a rest first because
Mm-hmm.
I get this motivation from YouTube. If you get something if you get barriers, don't stop. But what you just need is take a rest and then think what's the problem, and then until you get the solution, and then you can solve
Mm.
it. So you have to start it because once you stop to do something, it means that you will be in the big failure. But
Mm.
once you get failure but you just take a rest, you can continue it later. So I just will take a rest and then look for the the way to solve my problems.
Oh, what a good motivation for you. So, do you
Yeah.
think that we should make a party when we try to celebrate our graduation? Do you think that is it necessary?
Party, I guess 50-50 because
Mm-hmm.
when we do like some parties in our graduations, we can
Mm-hmm.
remember it because we cannot go to graduation in much time, but we just do it in one time. So if we like do the same thing like other time, so like there is no difference between uh, all of the time. So that's why we sometimes people want to make their graduation uh, become different thing, like make a party or something like this. But I guess it's not really necessary, but that good for me.
Okay, so at the previous time, we already talked about the meaning of graduation. So, do you think that graduation, the word of graduation, is only appropriate for those who in the some institutes like senior high school, university, and etc. How about if the person that didn't have like school? What do you think about that? When we talk about the meaning
Um,
of graduation.
in in my opinion, but correct me if I'm wrong. In my
Yes.
opinion,
Mm-hmm.
graduation just for institute like school or uh, university. But when the people want to like make a separation party, when they, for example, want to separate each other, I think that's not called graduation. I think that just called separation party. You know what
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah.
So I guess both of them are different.
Okay. So, do you think that what kind of stuff that must be appear during the party when we celebrate the graduation itself?
Okay, next question. I actually never join or come to my friend's
Mm,
graduation, but I always see on my friend's status in WhatsApp, in Instagram, and then they give their friends like flowers. Sometimes the very unique I got is they give their friends like a flower that made by snake plastic. That's very unique, and
mm,
that's like a fake flowers. But I guess that's really nice because when we give them like real flowers, 1 or 2 days, uh, the flower will be broke or something like that. But when we give them like the flowers that made by plastic, so we can put it in our room, and then we can we can treat it until long time, right? So that's
okay.
very unique for me.
Okay, so what is your biggest motivation to achieve your graduation? What is your biggest motivation?
I actually never uh, too ambition to. I never think too much about graduation, but I just think about my future life because graduation is not the last way, not the
Mm,
last step, I guess. But what makes me really excited and then still excited to continue my study at university, and then someday I will graduate because uh, no one get same things like me. I can go to university and then I can study without thinking about where should I get money or something like that. So I use it as a big change for me because if I don't use it, so it means that I, how to say, I throw the big change for me that I got from this life. So that makes me really excited, and then still continue my study until right now.
okay, meaning that graduation is not the last step of this life.
Yeah,
So,
that is
well,
just
okay.
the first.
Okay. So, well, smart talking about uh graduation maybe for 30 minutes and then let's continue our discussion. So, brother Fikri, are you still in there? Brother Fikri, are you still in there? Okay. Okay, brother Fikri. Okay, the previous time you have been talking about graduation, what is graduation, the meaning of graduation, preparation, and etc. So, will you miss the day when you was a college student? Will you miss it after you graduate from your university? Will you miss that day when you was a college student?
Uh, we-
Do you hear me? Am I audible?
yeah, you are audible, but I don't know
Okay,
who you ask.
okay. You, brother Fikri.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Will you miss the
Oh,
day when you was a college
okay,
student
okay,
after
I
you
got you.
graduate? Okay.
You know, when I was in senior high school,
Mm-hmm.
I also joined in my graduation party, and also at the moment we make a big party, and at the time I sing a song in front of my friends, and then all of eyes look at me, and then it was made me really proud of me. So, but later in my graduation in university, I guess I did not like to miss it like in my senior high school, because you know later we just like uh, take a picture with our lecturers, with our friends or something like that, but we will not make like a big party like in the school. So I guess like it just not really missing moments, I guess.
So what is the thing that you will miss the most in the college daily activity after you graduation later on?
Okay, so the things that I will be really miss is my activities in my organizations,
Mm-hmm.
because there I get a lot of experiences. I get a lot of great people, great friends
Mm-hmm.
that are really good for me, that change me to be better. So I guess that is the most thing I will miss when I graduate later.
Okay, I have an interesting question for you. So pretending yourself as a ay, okay, pretending yourself as a college students at the last semester in your university, and then there were several of your friends that maybe need your help, but at the time you are really busy with your business. So what you are going to do? Do you
Okay,
help them or what?
okay, if my activities later is very important that I cannot leave it, and then my friends need my help, I guess I will do my things, because you know the thing that you, if you want to be happy, if you want to be success, never try to make everyone happy. If you always make your everyone happy, you will be in the best situation. So is that if you have to choose uh, with two hard choices between should you have yourself, or should you have your friends, I prefer to help to do my activities first, and then after I did it I will help my friends. So that's for me.
Okay, so the point is helping our friends also important. So welcome, Mr. Deddy. Are you still in there?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. So we have been talking about graduation for maybe 30 minutes. We have been talking about what is the meaning
Okay.
of graduation and etc. So, what is graduation meaning for you? Meaning to you, I mean.
I think I have a lot of definition for graduation itself. Like in the formal definition, graduation must be something that you have finished in formal school or any course that you are applying for in university or any school probably. So that's the formal definition of graduation. But for me personally, graduation means you have finally like achieved something after you have completed certain process or progress that you have been doing for so long. So that's what I think the personal definition of graduation.
Okay, Mr. Deddy, thank you for your definition. And also, I'd like to ask you about graduation. So,
Mhm.
do you think that our degree later on will be important in order to in order to make our future be better than before? Do you think that is it like a important part our degree
Mm-hmm.
like SPD, MPD?
Okay.
Okay. Do you
Mm-hmm.
think that that is the
Okay.
most important part?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, when we're asking about successful in the foreseeable future is something very paradoxical or something that we cannot predict. But when we say something, if the degree is very important, or not, I think it's really important for you, especially when you are in applying for any jobs, or any position that you think is really necessary for you. I think it's is really important because currently people who want to hire someone, they have to be at least have a graduation degree, or at the very least any certificate from any course or any like skills that you are applying, for example like tuval or so on. At the very least you have a certificate to prove that you are able to do something. That's what we think is really necessary. And the graduation or the degree that you have is actually the recognition that you actually are able to do something. So that's what I say is very important, when you have a degree or not.
Okay. So the next question for you is do you think that is it necessary if we try to celebrate our graduation later on? Is it necessary?
Pardon, can you repeat again?
Is it necessary if later on we try to celebrate our graduation?
Okay.
Is it necessary
So
for you in
regarding
your point of view? Okay.
yeah, I think it's very like double meaning for me because in my like personal view, celebrating the graduation is very like trying to prove that you have achieved something, and it's like the celebration for yourself that, oh, actually I've been doing so much that actually I can get that recognition. So it's pretty important for some people, but I don't say that people who don't like uh, do celebration for their graduation is bad, because I think having like a graduation is very important as well, because there are some event or ceremonial that people do. They actually conduct like the kind of im- what is that, like a sign up for you if you are if you are having the first rank in your university or in your school. So it's kind of like motivating for some people to say, oh, they are one of the people who are actually graduating with a really good score, or they are people who actually are successful in academical score, or so on so far. So that's pretty impressive for me if we have like ceremonial graduation.
Okay. So, what is the thing that you will miss the most in the university after you graduation later on? What is the thing that you will miss the most?
Probably competition, because
Mm-hmm.
I love joining competition when I am in university. I want to say I was, but I haven't graduated yet. So I say that, yeah, one of the most important that I'm gonna miss is memorable things is the competition, because there are some condition or certain circumstances that you actually can join. One of the privilege of having or being a student in university is that you can able to join any competition. That you are able to join any competition, which is actually one of my favorite, like things to do in university life.
So, what kind of competition? Could you mention it, please?
I was charged in several debating competitions, and then Olympiad as well, and several like public speaking competition
Mm-hmm.
and essay competition, and joining several international events. But I'm not really sure if that's like you define it as a competition or not.
Okay. Do you think that by following like several activity outside the campus, it's going to support our graduation later on? Is it like give important role in that? Do you think that?
Okay, yeah, every single that you've done as everything you've done in university, as long as it's something positive, I think is really necessary, especially for your graduation. Because in some universities, hold on for a second.
Okay, Mr. Dedi, are you still in there? Okay. Looks like Oh,
Oh,
okay.
sorry for
Oh, yeah,
that.
yeah,
There are some
yeah. I think he was
obstacles
disappearing.
behind me.
Okay, okay. Go on, go
Yeah,
on.
there's some noises. Okay, sorry for that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, actually, like what I said, like I mentioned, that
Mm-hmm.
some graduation ceremonies, like university days, like they celebrate people who have good academical, experiences when they are in the universities. In my university as well, they celebrate people who got really good academical points or values in universities. They sometimes give another scholarship for you to continue your study for your graduate study. So it's pretty necessary and very important for you if you really want to get scholarship. And joining some competition is actually giving you like more scores for people to hire you in like job lives. Because I'm working as well, as you know that I'm working and studying as well. People who hire me is always asking why you have to join several of those competitions, several events, or any activities I really want to join, because those activities actually can help me out in my job life, in my job field. And sometimes I use it as my experience to do the same way in my job field. So it's very important. Your degree is really important for you to get accepted, but your degree, your activities or your competition or so on so far will help you out to, like to help your company or your job field to be much better, and you will be, like the most experienced people in your job
Yeah,
field
yeah.
talking regarding something that's related to your activities before universities. So I think it's really important.
So we have to combine between experiences and also our degree, right?
Yes.
So what you are going to do after your graduation, maybe later on?
I try to have another job because I always feel so interested to have more than three jobs. I don't know, but people
Okay.
probably people who always think that having one job is enough. I don't think so. I
Okay.
always love like trying to have the
Oh, do
more
you like
experience that I
something
have,
new?
the the more I feel. Yeah, the more relief I feel when I have more jobs to feel like in my CV, I don't really have to be afraid to like to enroll in a certain position because I had the experience before, so I'm not afraid to have to enroll that position because I have really like such a long foreseeable future foreseeable dreams. So I think I really need to prepare after graduation. I really want to have like 1 year job experience that is related with my background and my specialization to make sure that I'm really easy to get the scholarship for my graduate degree.
Oh, well. So what a great answer, Mr. Daddy. So move to our brother
Thank you
Fikri.
so
Are you
much.
still in there? Are you still in there?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
still here and alive.
Okay. Okay, same question like Mr. Daddy. So what you are going to do after graduation? Because you said before that graduation meaning that it's not the end of our journey, but it's like a start, new
Yeah,
start. So what you are going to do after
in my
graduation?
in my in my first graduation, I guess I will continue my study,
Mm-hmm.
and I hope in the prestigious campus, and I hope it's in abroad.
Yeah, yeah. I did
So
it in.
I just
Okay.
wanna I just wanted to continue my study, and also yeah, just it. I guess.
Okay. Do you have like interesting thing? I mean, like Mr. Daddy said before. Do you have like a feeling? Do you have like interesting thing in how to say? Sorry. Like Mr. Daddy said before. Mr. Daddy said that he really like join in another job or like that. I mean as a English department. Do you think that do you interest with a new thing like outside your major? Because right now you are an as
Um.
a English department.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Because when I was wait a minute, I got a problem.
Okay.
Check.
Okay.
Okay.
Check. You are
So
audible.
when
Okay.
when I was in school, I really like playing music
Mm-hmm.
with my friends or something like that. So maybe when I graduate later, so besides I continue my study, I guess uh, I will gather with my friends and then like make a party and also make like a band to internet and to entertain many people. And then I will make it as a hobby later, but not as like a passion or something like that, because I just wanna focus on my study.
Okay, so same question like Mr. Didi. So do you think that degree is the important part? I mean, do you think
Okay.
that degree is
So
one of the important part?
okay.
Okay, go on.
So degree, I guess that's important, but that's not the important thing to get succeed or to get a job. Because as Mr. Day said before, that our score, our grades just make us to be accepted. Later we can use it to work our job. And then even though later you already be hired with some institution or something like that, but you do bad things, you cannot overcome the problems. You can complete your works or your assignments. So I guess you will be like be fired from your institution. So that's really problem if you just use your grade without having like good experiences that you get from other place, like organization or something like that. So I guess we have to make both of them balance between grade and also our experience, because even Pak Nadiem Makarim told us that the success people, those who have like in the middle grade, because they can make a balance between their study in campus and the way they fix or they get good experiences in their future life.
Okay, meaning that we have to make it balance between the activity inside the campus and also the outside the campus. And then as long as that is the positive things, it's going to help our graduation later on. So guys, so sad to say this because we are in the last session of this program. And then this program, I mean, this time we are going to share maybe several of vocabularies. Maybe start from Mr. Dede. So maybe each of you share around 5 vocabularies. Mr. Dede, are you still in there?
Five vocabularies.
Yeah, 5 vocabularies.
Yes.
Okay. Could you share five
Am I
vocabularies for
audible?
our? Yeah, you are audible.
Yeah, you are.
Okay. Probably. What shall I give it? Is it must be related with
Yeah,
graduation?
related with graduation.
Related with graduation. Probably exile.
Oh, what is exile?
Exile. Exile. Yeah.
Exile. How do we
Yep.
pronounce it? Exile. Is it correct?
EXI. EXILE.
Exile.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what does it mean?
It means that you are being forced to abstain from one's country or home, especially actually when you're trying to get out from any country.
Mm-hmm.
For example, who want to graduate or something. I don't think that's the proper word. Can I have another one?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, that's not what I think related with graduation. I thought it's just so easy to find.
Yeah.
Oh, I like this one.
What's that?
Hold on. There's something probably with my phone. Can Fikri does that first?
Okay, Fikri, could you share 5 vocabularies while Mr. Dede fix
Yeah.
his mobile phone?
Okay, so I guess this not really related to graduation, but I will just share this vocabulary that
Okay.
may be really important for us.
Go on.
The first is privilege, like
Privilege.
Mr. Daddy said before. Privilege means like hak istimewa, and the second one is like when we get a problem, we have to inhale. We can inhale like menarik nafas, and then after we inhale, we can exhale. Exhale means mengeluarkan nafas atau
Yeah.
menghembuskan nafas.
Inhale, exhale.
And,
Yeah.
right? And the fourth one, I guess, like strive. So when we wanna graduate, we have to strive. This means struggle hard. Strive.
Struggle hard. Strive.
And
Okay.
the last one, it's quite hard to find it.
Yeah, yeah. What's that? Is it IELTS?
Maybe
Okay.
okay.
IELTS
This
word?
is like a common word, and then
Okay.
this is a common word, and then really related to graduation. That is happy. Right?
Happy.
Is
Yeah,
it-
yeah. Bisa, bisa. Okay, okay.
Okay.
So, what about you, Mr. Daddy? Have you found your vocabularies?
It's pretty hard to find five that is related with graduation. Probably journey. The first one is
Journey.
journey. I don't know if people know that word. I think people most of them know that word, journey. And we're like, that's okay to have a long journey. I don't say that you have to graduate very late, but just enjoy your journey in university. It doesn't matter how long it takes, as long as you know that the period of time that you spend is actually very beneficial for you, and that's you filled in with the many positive activities. That's what I say. Like, just like live your journey or living in your journey, or be happy with your journey in the university. I think that's the word. Journey means like perjalanan, or you know, in certain period of time dalam waktu yang tertentu. I think that's one word. How many words that I have to prepare?
5.
Five. Okay. The second one must be experience. I think
What?
it's very common. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, doesn't
It's very
matter.
common. Should I change?
No need, no need.
No.
Just go on, go on,
Yeah.
go on.
Doesn't matter. What's the second one? Oh, probably. I don't know. Girl,
Maybe preparation, like right?
oh yeah, you can say it. I don't know what's the word that's really beneficial for you to understand.
Yeah, so do I understand.
So we have a lot of vocabularies, but I don't know what vocabularies. Oh, accentuate. I think it's very good. It's real academic work.
Mm-hmm.
Accentuate. I really love you are trying to, to show off something that you are, something that is visible for people to see. What I mean is that if you have an achievement for people to be motivated or something, so actually accentuate is actually a verb. Means show it off or something, like you can show it something. It's actually, like you can see. It could be something, it could be achievement that people can see, or it could be like everything that, award or something. Yeah, I think it's pretty related. The third one must be, sure, I don't know. Can I say that word?
What is that?
Endeavor or strive.
Strive. Strive?
It means try hard.
Oh,
Strive or endeavor.
okay.
Is
And
that,
then
is
any
that
else?
common words? I don't know.
No,
Strive
actually,
and
some of
endeavor
people
means try
sometimes
hard.
didn't
You
know
put
about it.
Okay. It
Okay.
means that you put a lot of effort into something. You just need. So I can say like you have to strive for your graduation, because for students in high school, it's probably, you think it's probably easy to get in universities, but it's pretty hard to get graduation to get graduated. It's easy to get into university, but it's pretty hard to get out from universities as long as you're not getting dropped out.
Yeah.
Yeah. The fourth one, be noble.
Hmm. What is that?
Do you know
What
the
does it
word
mean?
noble?
And what? Could you
Noble
pronounce
is
it?
actually like an adjective.
Mm-hmm.
It means possessing outstanding qualities. It means, for example, like you are a noble student, means you show really good qualities as a student.
Oh, yeah.
By
I
meaning
see.
that as long as you have those experiences which actually can help you, or like assist you in your daily life or your job field later on, you can be called noble person or noble student, which I think that's also a good one. Be a noble person, be a noble student by
Okay.
having a lot of positive activities and experiences.
Well, the last one is
The
what?
last one. How? Why 5 words really hard to find? Yeah.
Yeah, because you have so
Like,
many vocabularies.
You have a
what's the
million
word? Because
vocabularies,
it's
Mr.
really hard to find
Daddy.
the relation with graduation. Uh, be competitive. Oh yeah, that's actually the word that describe me. Be competitive,
Yeah.
because I feel like this is the real life that you can just say, oh, because I'm universities, then that's okay to say, oh, I'm just gonna lay back in my classes. I don't need to compete with other students to perform better. I think it's really important to be competitive in universities, because every single thing that you do in university actually can contribute every single thing as well in your life after graduation. If you are competitive, it's more competitive after you graduate than when you are in university or school. So yeah, be a competitive person. That's the last word.
Okay, so thank you for giving us the vocabularies, Mr. Fikri and Mr. Daddy. So we are in the end of our session.
Welcome.
Uh, and then thank you for the smart listener outside there. And then see you in the next week at the same day and same time. Thank you.